Well, hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about sarcasm. And I think sometimes we get so stuck on Myers-Briggs personality types, which I love MBTI. I think it's so enlightening and so fun and so explanatory. But there's often an element that we start searching for, and we try to put someone in a box or say, oh, well, they must be that type, but they're not quite fitting. What is it? And that's just one of the things that I've noticed lately is there are things that are separate from MBTI. They have nothing to do with MBTI, but you tack it on top of that person's personality, and then you have an explanation and an answer. And that is, so one example of that is sarcasm. There are people out there who are very, very sarcastic. So comment below which MBTI types you've seen that are sarcastic or that use sarcasm. So to determine whether or not someone is a sarcastic person, and then I'm going to go over some areas of sarcasm to help you understand that person a little bit better, and it flavors their MBTI in a colorful and unique way. So, do you like sarcasm or don't you like sarcasm? Some people love sarcasm, some people love to use sarcasm, some people enjoy being around people who are sarcastic. They think it's fun, they think it's funny. There are some friendships that are based on sarcasm and they just totally click and love each other. I think for me, sarcasm is something that I always have to adjust to, that I have to get used to. And then once I'm around someone who is super sarcastic, it starts to kind of fade in the background. But at first, it stands out like a bright light. And I'm like, not what's going on with that person. But yeah, of course, as an ENFJ, I'm going to want to delve deeper. Like, why are you so sarcastic? Like, where is that coming from? Is it just that you're a funny person, like haha, or is there something deeper going on? Are you trying to deflect? Are you, you really are always kind of have a heightened sensitivity to people, and that's how you handle it and that's how you deal with it. So honestly, sarcasm is not my favorite thing. I don't really, it's just not something that I just love or that I'm drawn to. In fact, at first it's a put off to me until I get used to the person and get to know them uh, as far as their MBTI. That really helps when I can just kind of, okay, what is their MBTI type? Who is this person? What are some descriptors? And I start putting some of that on them, then it softens that sarcastic blow. So, what is sarcasm? Let's just talk about that, right? So, sarcasm is the use of irony to mock or convey contempt, sneering, scoffing, taunting, derision. So, sarcasm is a sharp, bitter, or cutting expression or remark. It's a bitter taunt. Mostly, it's speech designed to cut or give pain. And I think that's why I don't like sarcasm, because I feel like a lot of times it's a stinger. It's meant to bite. Why are you trying to make someone feel bad? Because that's what it's usually designed to do. So sometimes people will poke at someone's shortcomings with a sarcastic remark. So I've seen people use sarcasm to absolutely derail, punish, make someone look stupid. And it's really because they feel stupid, they feel insecure. But it helps them to feel better. As an ENFJ, I don't need to use someone else to make myself feel better. I think there is a form of sarcasm that as an ENFJ I may use at times, which is kind of to say the opposite of what I'm really meaning, or kind of joking in that manner. So do you know any other types that do that? Just kind of in a playful way. So I think sarcasm can also be used in a playful way. in a thought-provoking way, I think that's okay. Let's see, what types have I seen sarcasm used with? And I want you to comment below also on some Myers-Briggs types that you've seen layered with sarcasm. I've definitely seen that in ESTJs before, where they can just, I mean, sometimes it can be funny the way that they use it, just kind of depending. It could be haha, but they can also use it to punch people. I've seen it on an ESTP. My goodness, I kind of recently knew an ESTP that would do somersaults. I don't think I've ever seen that level of sarcasm used, and not only that, but they had their own, what do you call it, brand of sarcasm that, oh wow, like, I mean, sometimes I would laugh cracking up because it would just be so funny. And especially if there was someone that was in the wrong or who had done something wrong, that she would use that sarcasm and just, oof, like, okay, I'm sure they wished that they had never met her. So I think sometimes sarcasm could be a positive when it's used to maybe show someone a part of themselves that maybe is not so good, or maybe the person is also hurting people. Someone who's sarcastic may be able to, or if you have someone who has a very dominant personality, it might be used as a mirror. I've seen ENTJs who could be quite sarcastic, but it was also used kind of as a, hey, don't mess with me. Like, don't come for me. I've seen some sarcasm in some ISTJs before. It might be more turned on the self, kind of like, oh yeah, you think I'm an idiot, but I'm not, and I will, kind of that. That's the best way I can explain it. It's like, it may not necessarily be attacking you personally, but it might be kind of getting ahead of you, like, yeah, I see how you're viewing me right now, and I don't appreciate that, so I'm gonna flip it back on you in a sarcastic way, instead of just saying, hey, can you please not talk to me that way. I've seen them flip it. I've seen some sarcastic ISFPs before who kind of say things with a dry wit. Sometimes it's for amusement purposes, and that can be fun. When it's used to hurt someone, that's the part that I don't like. This is some things that I've noticed about the sarcastic personality type. So layer it on top of an MBTI type, and it will give you deeper understanding of the person. So sarcastic people are somewhat uncomfortable with kindness or niceness. They don't like too sugary, too mushy. It just, like, they might try it out and they're like, I can't. Like, that's just so not me. They're usually assertive. It can be a sign of insecurity. It could be designed to knock someone off balance because a person is really afraid of getting hurt or feeling insulted themselves. It's used to control the outcome of another person's response. It's used to keep people at bay. And some people say that sarcastic people can see right through you. I say, seek and ye shall find. Everyone has insecurities, but why is it important for you as a sarcastic person to weaken someone else? Because a sarcastic person cannot handle the same cutting that they're dishing out. That doesn't mean that sarcasm can't be used in a funny, haha, lovely way. It can be, and it's not to knock all sarcasm or to say all sarcastic people are bad. It doesn't mean that at all. And like I said, once you're around someone sarcastic and you get used to that rhythm, then it kind of fades into the background, and it's okay. Sometimes people will put that out there first when they're getting to know you because they are in self-protection mode, and I think it's okay to kind of test people out a little bit. But this is just meant to say, if you are a sarcastic person, it's just to kind of give you a different angle and a different way of looking at your sarcasm. So Oscar Wilde, the great author, said, "Sarcasm is the lowest form of wit." And this is because sarcastic comments, though humorous, are usually passive aggressive, mean, and uncomfortable for the people receiving them. So if you use sarcasm, you must ask yourself, what are you trying to accomplish with your communication? What kind of relationship do you want? Are you striving to be funny at the expense of others? Or do you want to build a relationship of trust and love? Do you care how other people feel, or are you only interested in entertaining yourself? Sarcastic people often see teasing as tough love and believe people should be able to handle it. They also say, "just kidding," after a sarcastic remark, and they think that makes it okay even if it hurts. They usually see themselves as funny people even if they're the only ones laughing. So in reality, sarcastic people usually have a fear problem. And I know some of you aren't convinced yet that every problem is a fear problem, but keep looking at it because it's true. They are usually battling either a fear of not being good enough, which is the fear of failure, or the fear of being taken from, which is the fear of loss. So they need to step back and figure out why they need to be sarcastic. So here are a few more reasons why, some common reasons why you might be sarcastic. It might be because you fear you aren't good enough. So you subconsciously put others down so you can feel superior. Number 2, sarcasm is also a way of asking for what you want when you are scared to ask for it directly. And there are some types that I've seen that are fantastic at that. Like, they get whatever they want and they never say exactly what it is that they want, but yet they get people to do that. I've seen that in INTPs and I've seen that in ISFPs, and not all of them, because some of them are very direct and they say whatever it is that they want. So I'm just saying I've seen some people of that type do that. Number 3, sarcasm may be passive aggressive anger. It might be, you might feel insulted or annoyed by someone, so you take a jab at them. You might feel angry at life or the disappointments or abuse that you've suffered, so you want to take out your frustrations on someone with biting remarks. But you have to keep in mind that the people that you're sending your sarcasm to, they also have been through some things. So number 5, if you were teased in a cruel way, put down, or made to feel inferior as a child, you might be subconsciously trying to get the upper hand now. Now you have some power or way to feel superior. And number 6, you like to get attention by entertaining those around you with humor. I think entertaining other people can be a good thing, can be a fun thing. If you're using sarcasm in that way. So I think some comedians are sarcastic and they make a living from it. So, and just, it doesn't mean that you have to turn it all the way off, just soften it in some areas. Be aware of who your audience is and who you're talking to. That's all. So comment below any MBTI types that you see sarcasm layered on top of. And I appreciate you watching this video. Please like the video. I really appreciate that. And hit the subscribe button. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye.